Lisa, welcome to the Group X podcast. It's good to see you
Thank,
and also have you on the show.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
It
this
was
is
a while for us to get this organised, so I'm glad that we did it.
it has taken a little while, but I'm just so grateful. So let's, if you don't mind, let's kick it off right from the word go. Can you share with me and our listeners how you got into the fitness industry? Where does it begin?
Yeah, sure. It begins with a club. I think it was called Lifestyle Health and Fitness Club, just up the road from Victoria University, where I was at college training to be a teacher, and yeah, I went up there and joined one of the group fitness classes, and there was a pretty hot instructor at the time, to be fair, and anyway, and then I went back for that, and I mean his energy was amazing. I'll never forget it. It was just like crazy, and I loved it. And then it just went from there, to be honest. I never looked back. I just started going every day. He ended up meeting him, not that anything happened, but he was competing in aerobic competitions, and I was an ex-dancer and have movement history for my life. So I suppose he just thought, and it was at the time where aerobic competitions had just really kicked off as well. So he said I should do it, and I ended up doing it, and that's it. It just rolls like a roller coaster from there.
I love that. The early beginnings from what was our industry way back when through to what you're doing now as well. I love that. I've chatted to a couple of people in the past that have done the early, exercise or aerobics or what it was called, I think, with the freestyle stuff and that takes a hell of a lot of fitness compared to a lot of the stuff we do today. What you guys were doing back then in the early days is massive. That takes a lot of energy.
Yeah, it was. I think there were no rules, and it was just pure adrenaline and endorphins and just crazy loud music, loud colors, loud everything. And I think that it was pretty much just getting there and smash out a crazy fitness workout with not much structure. So it certainly has come a long way. I think the workouts are certainly still as challenging, but definitely have a lot more science and purpose behind what we do. So,
and doing it all with a massive smile on your face. From all the videos you see out there that are on YouTube, everyone is smiling from ear to ear and still managing to pull off some amazing moves. That's well done. I like hearing those stories.
I think that, like, back then, honestly, I mean, it wasn't really about results. People weren't necessarily focused on the benefits and the outcomes of exercise, and it was just pure enjoyment and love of exercise and music, I think. So I really think that's what kicked it off, and thank goodness it did, because if you can keep that, personally, it's great that you talk about it, because obviously we never think about it. We don't go back very often in our lives. I mean, I don't want to think about yesterday, to be fair. I only want to think about today and tomorrow. All the time my life is like that. And when I do think about that, thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for all that crazy love and pure passion. And if you can, I think that's why I still keep it. Like, that's such a big part of what I do. That's got to be just as important as, hey, knees out, chest up, back straight. That's really great, because we want people to exercise till they're 150 or whatever. But we also, without the joy, it loses the magic. So it's good to think about.
I like for myself, first of all, reflecting on my journey through the fitness industry back from 2003. And if I hadn't done what I did back then, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. So
you have to tell me now.
Always
what
nice
did
to.
you do?
Oh no! Well, just when I started, I was a fat porker at 150 kilos before I walked into the gym, and sitting in the corporate world and never training and never doing anything, smoking like there was no tomorrow, just really bad habits of everything, on the wrong path. And walked into the gym and came across this cycle studio that just had loud music and an amazing atmosphere. And I could sit in there because it was dark and no one ever saw me. I could sit up the back, and next thing you know, I was the row forward, then the row forward, and then the second row underneath the speaker and the fan, and just started really, really enjoying myself. So it was, I always refer back to the first moment I ever walked in. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be here. Wouldn't be talking to you. I wouldn't have done and had all the experiences that I've had and met all the people that I've met in the industry. It's just amazing for me, it's important to always reflect where I've come from. Yes, still, as you said, be in the present, be here today and look forward to what's happening tomorrow, but also look back from me, especially is where I was. I sometimes sit back on that sliding door moment of going, I wonder if I didn't go to the gym that day?
Yeah.
Would I have met my wife? You know, would I have gone to work for Les Mills? Would I have done all that kind of stuff? And to me, it's as I said, it's important to always reflect and go, you know what? Yeah, great. I'm glad that I made the choices I have, but also to follow the steps all the way along to what I am doing today, to realize that I wouldn't be here if I hadn't done all of that before.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it sounds like you've had a great journey too.
Yes, yep, all good fun, all good fun. So how did Les Mills pop into your life? How did you find Les Mills? How did that experience happen for you?
They found me. Actually, I was working for Network Fitness for Professionals in Australia, obviously there, and I was doing tours all around the country. I was a freestyle choreographer and presenter, so I was doing workshops on, believe it or not, like keeping it simple but keeping it fun right from the very start, but adding creativity without complexity. It was always my thing. And I would go to present at conventions, and there'll be turnings and backwards, forwards, downwards, up, and my head was a spin. And as much as I loved it, it was too much for my very simple brain to put all together. And so I just went on my own mission to inspire people through fitness and joy with simple but fun classes. And I did step and step and nearly said attack, but step and high low.
Yep.
I forget the names. Step and high low, and then I started competing in World Aerobic Championships. So I was competing at the World Championships in Australia and overseas, and in the Australian team. And then I was approached by Bill Robinson, who I love today as much as I did back then. He basically rang me nearly every single day for 6 months, begging me to go to a workshop that was starting and to become a trainer. And I kept saying, no, I'm freestyle. No, I do my own thing. No. And he just said, well, the last conversation I'll never forget was, just go and do a module with Pete Manuel in Australia, in your country, in your hometown, this particular weekend. And if you don't like it, I'll never call you again. And I went to the module, and put it this way, the next weekend I was training to take my first module for body pump the weekend after.
I love that.
Yeah, never look back, never. And I did modules every weekend for like 2 years, except for 5 weekends in 2 years.
Wow.
Just loved it.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the Group X podcast.
Thanks, Bill.
That's it.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
Wow. But also thank you as well for giving it a shot and giving it a crack, because let's be honest, the program might not be what it is today if you hadn't taken that step back then. You know, it's yeah.
I'm as thankful. I really am. I'm so thankful that I think I'm thankful that I opened up to change, and I think, you know, I mean, there's so many things. I remember I said to you, "Oh, can you tell me the questions?" And I didn't look at them. I thought, I love being, you know, not knowing what's coming anyway. But I did see one about, the only one that did land was, what if there's some things you want to tell instructors, what would they be? And one of those things for me is definitely be open to adding more and change, and not just doing one thing, but really adding to your bow all the different opportunities and skills that you have the chance to develop along the way. And don't just say, oh no, I'm body attack, or I'm body pump, and don't try the others, because then you limit how many people you can reach through your passion and knowledge. So yeah, it's important. So I'm thankful. I'm hugely thankful.
Yep. No, I love that. And thank you for sharing that as well. I'm sure that the guys that are listening will take on board what you've said there and gel with it as well. So, yeah, that's appreciated. Hey, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some questions around filming, because I know filming has obviously changed a hell of a lot over even the last 20 years that I've been involved with the industry. Can you reflect, if you don't mind, cast your mind back to the first ever filming that you did? Yeah, I'll give it's almost like I feel like I need to play a little bit of thinking music for you to go back, because there's been that many. But can you remember your first ever filming, and can you give us a bit of a rundown on what that experience was for you?
I can't remember my very first ever, but I do remember some of the things that stick out in my mind were we started with one camera down the back. Oh my gosh, what was his name? Our cameraman's name? I've forgotten now. We had one camera right at the very back of Studio One, and we had no audience. We used to make up names like "Go June" and "Oh, you're looking good, Sarah." We had no people.
Yep.
It was just one camera and the big stage in Studio One, and it was me and Mark back then. I started step first, so yeah, I just remember, and it was just. Yeah, very simple, very real, and very personal, but not personable. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But back then it was a little bit easier in that there was the scripts were just pretty much choreography, so there wasn't layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and all that stuff, all the extra fluffy stuff.
Yep.
So I think that's what I remember. One camera, one man, a couple of extra crew around, and push play and stop and start in between tracks. I think that was. I can't remember if we used to do it ourselves.
Yep.
I can't remember.
I love that. I love hearing those stories from the humble beginnings, though. You know, I remember when I was living in Sydney, and I was living with Vanessa Laporte and Andrew Taylor. That when I was living in Sydney back then, and I remember coming home because I started PT, and at some nights I was late, not getting home till 9 o'clock, and I'd walk in, and there they were watching the old VHS, and it was of the Attack and of the Step, those programs, because that were their programs they were in, and I just remember, as you said, it was that one video camera at the back, and it was the World of Les Mills logo that was on the back wall, the blue and yellow sort of logo. And some of the Attack stuff was even back to front because it was flipped.
Yeah, well, it actually still is. They still flip it, but they still flip. All the left and right programs.
Yeah.
So that hasn't changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I just remember seeing that, and it was just that one visual, that one camera at the back of the room, and now when you look at it, it's so different. To so many different camera angles, and the production that it is obviously amazing, and I think we all understand the growth that the programs have had, over those last 20 something years as well. Is there a filming that stands out more than others for you?
Body Tech 100, Sydney, the filming, like anything where it's been live and massive. It stands out for me. So definitely the Sydney filming with Rach, and definitely she taught track 2.
Yep.
I remember. and 8. She did track 8 as well, I think, with Steve Clough.
Yeah, with Steve. Yep.
I'm not a very good with some memories of releases and stuff, but the live events. You can't beat live. Honestly, the live events for filming or even just for presentations are just inspiring. They just feel the soul with a moment that you can sort of add to magic moments in your life story. So the live Body Tech 100 was just the most emotional, insane, memorable moment probably. But then Sydney and even last year in London, like that was mind blowing. You know, the different emotions for different times.
Yes,
I think.
Yep.
Like London was one of the best because of coming out of COVID, and the emotion for the instructors and the thanks for people, the Les Mills Plus people that were there. Like there was a massive number of that. You know, that was really special because so many people came that had never been to an event before, and they couldn't believe, and they were so thankful for being in their lounge room and keeping them moving. So that was pretty special too. So those times.
No, look, that's fantastic to hear, and I think that shows your uniqueness as well. Yeah, I'd say there could probably be instructors or trainers, presenters out there that have one moment that is all about them. But I love hearing the fact that for you, it's about the moment and about the people that are in front of you. You know, Lisa, I know we've only been chatting for 15 minutes or so, whatever it is, and I have not met you before, but I love the energy and the enthusiasm you have about what you do, you know, and I'm just going to say it. Thank you. From everybody to me to you, a big thank you, because your energy and what you do is absolutely amazing. So it's appreciated from all of us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I think that from the moment that I turned around from it never being about myself, the joy is just multiplied by 1,000. What I see when I see people happy, and Brazil taught me that. Brazil. When I used to go to Brazil a lot, you would just appreciate the small things. You would go to a home and this is off track a little bit, so I'm a bit sorry.
No, go. This is all what it's about.
So I remember one of my most magic trips was going and countries to visit was Brazil, and Brazil is second in my heart. I used to go over there for their team, and I got to know them so well. And so I used to go to their homes and get invited to their families. And you would this is early days in the first couple of years, and you would go to a tiny little house at the back of in Rio or in Sao Paulo or wherever it was, and you would go to a house where seriously, I mean, it would be as 2 rooms, 3 rooms, tiny rooms, and yet you'd see beds in corners where all the kids were sleeping in corners, and you would drink the same pre-dinner drink, the water, the coffee, the beer, and everything out of the same glass. You just wash it and then refill it, and just learning about and then these people, you would go to a workshop, and the joy from just music and exercise into their lives, into their really difficult lives. So I changed. Emma Barry, I'll throw her name in. She is one of my mentors of my whole history with Les Mills, and she said to me, once you go to Brazil, it'll change your life. Yep. And she was so right. So Les Mills, and I think that when I was young, I was more selfish and more about me, and absolutely, like hype, and I was high energy, and not, if you look back, probably not a very nice person actually. Whereas through Les Mills, you can learn to really do it for the people, and that's why those big events are so amazing, and people need to go to them, because it's just seeing people's joy in a room can surely take away some of the shitty stuff that's out there.
Yep.
And or you remember it. If you can close your eyes and think of that moment, whether you're on the floor, on the stage, or whatever, people are happy.
Yeah.
So
this is the Group X podcast.
I remember the moment for teaching for me was when I stopped it being about me and I started being about people in front of me. And it took a couple of years. I'll be completely honest. It took a long time before it happened.
Me too.
Because it was, oh no, I've got to do this. I've got to make sure I'm doing this, and it's got to happen. Until I remember the moment, it was in Canberra. I just totally relaxed and went, actually, you know what? At 6:15 in the morning in Canberra, when it's, -2 degrees, it's not about me. It's about them. They've gotten out of bed. They've gotten their asses into the gym. I need to turn this around and make it about them. And that moment that it happened, I just remember smiling from the inside, and I think at the end of the class, people actually come up and like, wow, there's that moment. I think more and more instructors, we all get there eventually. It's not saying that there's instructors out there that are never there. Some get there earlier than others, but I think when you do, it's an amazing feeling, you notice a big shift and a big change in your class and the way that people interact with you as well.
It's awesome for you, and you're very right. I totally agree with what you said, and I was the same. I didn't start off that way. You get experience and you learn, and that's part of the journey. So to get there is the most rewarding.
Yeah,
that's great for you though.
Thank you. Now, Lisa, you mentioned about module training as well. That you actually did module training. That was here in Aussie, yeah?
Hell yeah, I did a lot, and a lot of training stuff overseas, a lot of boot camps, and I would go back to that in a second. In fact, maybe one day, if the day ever comes, I'm not saying will, because I'm 33 forever, so it's pretty hard to change what I'm doing. However,
you're younger than me.
I am. So many people. Like my husband is 10 years younger than me, and I keep telling him he's way too old for me now. He's like, oh my gosh. I'm joking. But training is the best. Yeah, and that's I think that might have been where I learned more about other people and respecting different people and cultures and experiences and types of personalities, and the modules were the best. And to this day, modules and teaching classes are definitely the heart of what we do. So if you get to be on the stage, if you get to present or be in a video, that's cool, and that's that's something, but it's never as special and as life-changing as what you can do day to day.
That's probably the thing that rings true for almost every episode that I've done with the Group X podcast is the people I'm chatting to will say, you know, as getting up on stage and being at a presenter level or having that moment 3 or 4 times a year is amazing. And it's so, oh my God, yes, that's great. But that, as an example, Monday night, 5:30 or 6:30 class you teach week in, week out is where the energy and the passion is, because they're the ones that need you more than anything else. Yeah. That 4 times a year. That 4 times a year, you need to be on. You need to be punching and doing it all and making sure it's all landing correctly. But at the same time, every single week you go to class, those 20, 30, 15, however many members there are, everyone that turns up is there because they want to be there. They need to be there for whatever's going on in their life. And that's where we make the massive amount of impact and change. And I love hearing that from you, but also all the trainers that I've had on have all echoed the same sentiment. You know, it's so important that we focus on the day in, day out.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the biggest impact right there. Yep.
I love it. Thank you. Now, with relation to the latest lot of filming, now it's obviously we're talking about how it's changed so much. Yeah. Can you talk us through the filming now and how it's also being filmed for Les Mills Plus? Is there a difference to when it was just for instructors to now having a different audience? Are you filming differently? Like, are you having to present differently is what I should be asking?
Yeah, yes, we do. And it's definitely changed. I think it's for the better.
Yep.
Like, I know it doesn't have the energy and the reality of a class, because you say and you do different things like that in a group situation that you wouldn't do when it's more scripted. I think so. Yeah. So back before, you wouldn't have as clear or as clean coaching, obviously, because you would randomly get caught away with some type of moment or not say the compulsory cues at the right time.
Yep.
So it was more and more feeling based, which is, back then. Whereas now it's you definitely can have that, but it's hard to find and be able to create that because you don't have anyone in front of you except 7 or 8 different camera people.
Yep.
So the difference is you have to just change your mindset. But the thing that stays the same is the outcome. So the outcome is to inspire people to move really well, really safely, and connect to the music, and then connect to the people as much as you can through a camera. So that stays the same. So I think you just have to be more clear now, and you have more clarity in what you say and what you do, and I think you have to be a little bit more prepared with what you need to say to make a difference, because you can't rely on the energy of the people screaming at the moment.
That was what I was just about to ask you. It's obviously a hell of a lot different teaching to a camera than a room full of people. Yeah. There's a different energy. You've got to be looking down the lens of the camera, and you're teaching to one person, really, because it's the one person that's tuning in to watch. So it's the one person rather than that group of people that are in front of you. Even they form a group, but you really only got to connect to that one to make sure that the message lands. Yeah.
So you've just and I think you can't hide anything. So you've really got to be really authentic, prepared, well coached, well scripted, and believe in what you say. Because if it's just a script and words, you don't believe it. I think that shows through a camera. I think you can tell people that are teaching for real and teaching just from a couple of words on a piece of paper. So yeah, that's hard. It's hard for new people and coming in that haven't done it before. So but we do a lot of practice just to a camera. Like, I'm quite funny because I'll get a piece of paper and I'll walk past in the practice studio and I'll pretend I'm the camera person. They have to follow me. I remember when Jackson first did it, he hated it. He was like, I can't do this. I'm like, you can do this. And I'm like, follow the piece of paper. I'm down here now. I'm up here now. And just to make it as real as possible, because it's not real. So that's pretty tough.
Yep.
But I think the product is so awesome because it has to be. It reaches more people. So just get the job done.
Yeah.
This is the Group X podcast.
What does the future hold for Lisa?
Lots of good things, exciting things. And I love that question because I'm always looking ahead, and I don't plan though, and I'm open to what comes. You know,
Yep.
like I'm I'm definitely upskilling and passing on some of my knowledge and skills to Jackson and other younger attackers that come through if they have the desire and the passion. I want to pass it on. I want it to keep going for another 20 years. I don't know. I know it's going to be fantastic because I love fitness and I only want to be in fitness, and I feel like I am 33 forever and I have so much knowledge. Yeah.
Yep.
So, who knows? But it definitely is. It's still a roller coaster, and it will keep going, and
Yep.
it's not stopping. And I don't
Good.
intend for it to stop
Brilliant.
at all.
I think that's the thing that I think I want to hear, and I think most of us want to hear is Lisa's not stopping anytime soon. Yeah,
Nah.
You're around for as long as you can possibly be here doing it and spreading and sharing the love that you've got.
Yeah, and respecting that I have to work hard. So, like even this morning, I was out running on the track with Mum early so we could get to the hospital, and I bought a kettlebell at Kmart so I could have a kettlebell, and because Mum and Dad are in the country, and you just got to I've got to put the work in as well. You know, I can't just expect that. I know. Even though I am 33 forever, I can't expect that I can do what I used to be able to do, but I can still do a lot and a lot more. And as you get older, instructors need to. I believe they don't need to go anywhere, but they need to work hard to stay with the skills that they need to stay inspiring. And so, put the work in. Stay focused and keep training hard. And
Yep. Now, are you still training CrossFit?
I am. Yeah, you bet. I just missed out this year, which is an absolute shirt. Training hard. They cut the. I hate saying it, the master. I don't like being master, but I'm a master.
That's right. In the 33 age group, we get that. We understand. Yeah.
Okay. So the top 20. They used to take the top 20 around the world in the masters groups to the games, and I'm very, very lucky that I've made it twice. But last year actually, and this year they only take the top 10, and I've been in the second half of the top of the 20s.
Yep.
And that's okay. I'll keep trying. I'm going to go back. I'll go back.
Now you've had, was it knee or hip?
I've had a total hip replacement.
Okay. Yep. We're the same in that. Although you're younger than I am, remember? But yeah, I've had two now. I had one in February this year and one 2 years ago. So yeah, I understand the pain and the recovery going through that kind of stuff to get back into training is a challenge. But yeah, the to be pain free now is an absolute amazing thing.
Yeah, and you must know as well. Like we have to do heavy stuff. You have to train and get the weights and build the muscle around it and keep moving. So it's people's like the people that say you should stop, or you sort of like, no, I'm lifting heavier now than I have ever lifted.
Yeah, it's I'm slowly getting back into it. It's getting the confidence back because it's 6 years of being pain. To have that now disappear is now nice. And we're in Singapore just recently, this last week, for the Fit Summit in Singapore with Bodybike, my day job. And every time we were near an escalator, the boys got on the escalator, but I got the stairs. They're like, Tony, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm not in pain. I'm using the stairs everywhere I go. I'm walking as far as I can, as long as I can, because when there's zero pain and you can actually do it properly, you realize how much you've missed for such a long time. So it's that get back into this and go. Yeah,
that's good. Go you. That's awesome to hear. That's great. Yeah.
Now, we touched on it very briefly before about, giving instructors some feedback and that kind of stuff. What I'd like to do is ask you, though, what do you love about the fitness industry?
A connection. Yep. Yeah. I mean, the fitness industry and the connections and the friends that you can make and the family that you can make. I mean, my very, very, very best friends that are now all over the world are at home and overseas are all from the fitness industry. Same minds, like values and lifestyles and beliefs and motivations to help people. Like you surround yourself with people that make I like.
Yep.
I like you. And yeah, that would be the first thing. Like the people that I meet, even for the first time, I just know that they are in the fitness industry because they want to help people, or they're basically good people that are just looking out to make the people feel better and happy through whatever program it is. So I think that's the best thing from the fitness industry, and the connections that you can really make that are closer than just the associates. I don't wish to be out in the world meeting. I mean, my husband's in the police force, so he works in the opposite world. Like I'm in the light, he's in the dark. We often laugh about that, but both of us are trying to help people and make the world a better place. So that's the fitness industry, and that's what I love about it. The second thing is that I think it's ever changing. I think that like it's always evolving, and we need to evolve with it with the time. So even though we laugh about the aerobics 20 years ago, and there's an element of the joy and the fun and the energy from that, but now that the movements and the training and the benefits and things that we've included into what we do is so cool that we can share that. So I love that about the fitness industry, that it's always changing. I love that there's so many things for people to do.
Yes.
You obviously do bike, and I mean, so I have a real love-hate relationship with the bike. I want to love it, but we just don't connect, and I'm trying actually, because I really want to. I've got to get better on the bike, so I am going to do. After I'm speaking to you, I'm gonna do the bike. I'm gonna go.
I love it.
I like yeah. So I think we have lots of opportunities and different things, and I think that's like you can ride if you like riding, you can run. If you like running, you can box. If you like, you can do Tai Chi or yoga stuff. So I think that's pretty awesome.
No, I think you're very similar to Rach, my wife. That Rach doesn't like the bike. She's amazing at attack. I'm the opposite. Now, it's not that I don't like attack. I'm just not built for attack. I'm built for getting on a bike and lifting other heavy things. I don't have that the athleticism yet. Let's just say yet. At the age of 33, I'll roll with this one too. At the age of 33, it's something I've got to work with. So
it's a mindset.
Yes, totally. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So true.
I'm gonna have it on my grave. 33 forever, right there.
This is the Group X podcast.
Is there anything in the industry that you dislike? I'm going to say probably not, but hey, I'll let you answer.
Interesting question. You have, especially at the moment. Not well. I think I used to. I think that it's a hard one.
It's a hard one to answer.
It's a hard one because it's not that I don't like it. I just like I don't judge people, and I don't judge people for religion. I don't judge people for anything except who they are as a person, as human beings. And I love everyone if they've got good people, good heart. So I don't judge, and I don't even hold grudges. I forgive and forget. That's just who I am. And sometimes I get people saying nasty, nasty things about. So last week I did this pride stuff, and I had so many horrible comments to me, like nasty, nasty comments about me and Jax as well. And I was really upset, like deeply upset. I've never felt like that, because I understand people have different religions, and I even respect that. I totally respect that, and each to their own. And I would never impose or want people to, but to be nasty about me just because I was supporting, because I support everyone. It was so sad, and I was so sad about it. Yeah, that's probably the saddest I've ever felt. And I ended up having to delete some posts on my page because it was just so nasty and uncalled for. And so I think that's what I don't, and that's not really in the industry. So that's just it. Look, that's so it's probably not. It's not really the fitness industry.
Though. No, but it makes sense. It's when you're a public figure like you are, when you put yourself out there. I experienced the same when I started this podcast. Yeah, people having a go. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I look at this now and I go, well, if you don't like it, don't listen. You know what? I do this. I don't do this for everybody else. I do this for me. You know, this is my my creating space to do something. And if people tune in and listen, then I'm winning. You know, that's fantastic. And it took me a little bit of time to get that mind space happening properly. That I'm not going to be liked by everyone. Yeah,
No.
not everyone is going to jump on board and sing the Group X, drink the Group X Kool-Aid or having fun and doing, listening in every week. Everyone has an opinion. Yeah, they're entitled to it. They're entitled to say what they want. There have been times where people have had a good go. You can have a go at me, but have a go at my family and I'll take you down. Is the other side of it. I like, you know what? No, I've got broad shoulders, but when you start bringing in my wife or bringing in other stuff to your negativity, I won't stand for it. But I get where you're coming from, but I appreciate the way that you handled it as well. You know, there's sometimes they're keyboard warriors. Yeah, aren't they? You just delete them. You delete them and just, ta-da, whatever. Yeah, it is a hard thing to get mindset right, but you're the type of person. I'm not telling you who you are, but you're the type of person that gets it. You know what you've got to do for you and for what you're doing for us as an industry as well.
Yeah, I think so. And the other thing too is we do have a voice, and if I actually help some people in those groups actually feel better. So for the people that I did reach,
100%.
then maybe that is a great thing. So
yes.
yeah, but in the industry, is there anything that I don't like? Not really. I think it's really great now. I think it's open to they're not being discriminative to age or sex or color or race. I think they're more open to that and equality. So I think it's doing a really good job. I think the industry is doing a great thing as much as possible. So
I think
not really.
We've changed a lot, which through COVID times. I think we as an industry we had to evolve, we had to change, we had to develop pretty quickly during that time in order to. A lot of clubs I talk to these days, you can't be doing the same as what you did prior to 2019 and expect a different result. You know, you can't be doing that because times have changed so much that the way we present in classes, the way we approach things in a gym, everything has to be different because the world experienced something that probably most of us had never experienced ever in our lives. We had to adapt, we had to change, we've had to look at things differently, and so we expect something different. If you're doing what you did, beginning of 2019 or even at the end of 2019, you're not going to get the same result then.
No.
So I think as an industry, we have grown, we've developed, and we are changing. And I think there's still probably things we can do better. But hey, as you know, look at the way of filming, as we talked about before, from what it was with the one camera to now. You know, we evolve, we see things grow, we adapt. I think we're still in a growth stage within the industry, even though we've been around for 20 or 30 odd years, whatever it is. We've still got a long way to go, but everyone jump on for the ride. Let's go. We're as you said, we're 33 forever. We got a long time. We got a long time to go.
Exactly.
Have you got any words of wisdom for an instructor that's looking to potentially improve how they're teaching? What advice would you give someone that say to you, "Hey, Lisa, I've been doing this forever, but how do I take it to the next level?"
I suppose identifying what the next level is for them. Is it actually adding more programs, teaching more things, getting more knowledge? I think that's first of all, the first step is to work out really what they want. Do they want to increase their numbers? Do they want to just go to different clubs? What is it that they need to do? And then I think, it's not necessarily feedback, but it's just taking a really good look at themselves and self-assessing and thinking about what they're doing, what they're saying, to reach more people and be open to changing different things to reach more people again. So because sometimes we just see one way and we think that's the right way, and taking a moment just to stop, turning the camera around, have a look at it, listen to it, and just look at yourself and say, okay, I might need to slow this down, or I might need to take another 5 or 10 minutes to communicate or connect better, then take the steps to do that. But the first step is to turn the camera around and self-assess and in a positive way, to what their outcomes or their goals are. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, and I'm sure that listeners will gel with that as well. It's, guys, if you're listening, tune in, video yourself, sit back, watch yourself. I think that the self-assessment is so important to actually realize where you're at, but also give you a guide on, okay, I want to take it to the next step. What am I doing now? Yeah. You can see, you think you're doing something, but until you actually sit back and watch what you're doing, and watching yourself can be very confronting. And don't be so harsh on yourself as well. Have a look at it and just go, yeah, okay, yeah, cool, I can take this on board. And you're not going to, if there's something you don't like, you're not going to be able to change it the next class you teach.
No, it takes time. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the second thing, Tony, is the work ethic. You've got to put the work in.
Yeah.
I tell my kids all the time, you want something, you got to work for it. It's not just going to fall in your lap. You have to do your time, put the hours in, and do things that you don't like, and then to do the things you do like, but also things you don't like, and add it all together, and that's how you'll get to where you want to go. Nothing's supposed to be easy, and it hasn't been easy for me. You have to work hard.
Yep.
At everything, whether it's relationships, fitness, your own fitness. You just got to do the work.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get the job, work done.
Yes.
This is the Group X podcast.
You touched on there about family. Now, what's your son's name?
Jackson and Hunter.
Jackson and Hunter. Now, are they both in? Now, I probably should have asked this or done a bit of research before I chatted to you. Are they both involved in the fitness industry?
Hunter is only 12, and Hunter is fully involved in sports. He's a good rugby and a soccer football player. So he's doing lots of things. And then Jackson is now working with me with Body Attack and doing some grit and pump, and he just loves the industry.
How is that working with your son?
Yeah, it's hard work.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that is hard work, but it is great. I love it. I'm so proud of him. He puts the hard work and he loves it, and he's just got it in his veins, in his blood, and he feels music and can see what the importance is. Like, he's got it from me saying, I don't care about you, you care about the people, like things like that. Yep. I'm pretty upfront, so yeah, it's incredible. How was his
first filming experience with you? How did that go?
Well, actually amazing. So it all started with, he used to do Body Attack. He was so good. And then obviously the company I need succession plan, I'm not silly. Yep. I need people to continue it. And I also want Gen Fit people. The company need Gen Fit, and that's their focus. And I support it 1,000%. So long as they respect and keep us going and bring those along, man, that's just creating a whole lot of fuel for our fire. So I'm all over it. And then when Jackson was in class one day, honestly, he just looked incredible. He's so fit. He's such an athlete. I mean, he's a top rugby player. He's at first 15 at Graham. Like, he's just a good athlete. Yep. And then I thought, you need to shadow. So he started by shadowing, and was amazing as a young 16-and-a-half-year-old then, actually. Yep. And then he just worked from there. Then when he had to take his first video, he said bounce, literally bounce. Yep. That's it. And then the last video he did, he just filmed. Honestly, he was a star. Yep. He absolutely blew the roof off. He was incredible. And so imagine if we can share that. Imagine how many young people it can inspire to do. First of all, one of the oldest first programs out there, Body Attack, which is, something. We're competing with all the new programs. And you've got some young people that can do it. Hopefully I can inspire through that. And that is my reason, to inspire young people to get involved and to do it.
I can see the love and the passion in your face. I mean, obviously, this is a podcast. It's not we're not videoing this one, but your facial expression just says it all. Talking about your son, there's so much respect for what he's obviously going through and doing, and that's nice to see as a parent as well. Yep. Yeah. It's I can only imagine what it'd be like to actually have Leah there next to me doing something. It would just be amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It is, but I tell you what, those mornings when he's still in bed and he should be up. Oh my God. And I'm trying not to be a mother. I'm trying to be, get out of bed. I'll send him a message in the nicest way possible instead of saying what I really want to say. Ooh, hard work, but it's good work.
I love the fact that you're still a mum at heart. You know, we're all, a parent just to go, yes, get out of bed.
Oh, dear. If you could see it, you would go, wow.
Love it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Now, is there any other questions that you'd like to answer that I haven't asked you? Is there anything a message that you would love to throw out to listeners?
No, just get amongst it, do the work, spread the love, spread your energy. We have such an opportunity through what we do to add a little bit of joy and sunshine and positivity into people's lives. And we can do much more than we know, I think. We see the person, but we don't see their lives. But just knowing that you're doing a good thing and do as much as they can. I've always said, I want to inspire as many people as I possibly can in as many ways as I can. And I think that's the message for instructors is, broaden. What's that saying about your bow? Broaden your bow. I can't remember what it is now. Anyway, just get the skills, share your passion, and do it. Make it authentic. Be real. Be who you are. Don't try to be someone else, because they'll be a great person, and just because of their heart and passion for what they're doing. So get out there and get amongst it.
Love it.
And meet like people.
Yeah, true.
Go to life. Yeah, listen to these sort of things and just know that, we're all doing the same thing.
Brilliant. Lisa, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for spending 45, 50 minutes of your Saturday morning chatting to me. I've greatly appreciated your energy, your enthusiasm, and being open and honest with me. So thank you.
Always. Thank you for having me. And we'll talk again soon. And I think we've met. We have met, haven't we?
I think in Sydney. I think we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember. So next time will be a big hug.
Definitely.